Nomar, thanks so much for joining me. You've really been a bright spot since coming to this team in early June. What have you felt about the fit with this team and kind of the opportunity that you have here?
I mean, yeah, I'm glad they gave me the opportunity, and I went down to AAA to get consistent at bat, and show that I'm ready to to be back where I belong. So they needed a me at some point. They told me I just have to be patient, and my time came, and I came here, and whenever they gave me the opportunity, I just try to contribute as much as I can. Don't try to do too much, and thank God I'm seeing results right away, and I'm able to help the team whatever I can.
Yeah, you've been kind of on a tear here. Did something click for you? Were you just feeling very comfortable, or did you just feel like you needed those reps consistently?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, obviously I wasn't happy that I went down to AAA, but that's probably the best thing that happened to get. Because if I would have started here in the big leagues, I probably wasn't gonna play every day, and I got consistent at bat down there, probably like 100 and something. And when they felt that I was ready, they called me up, and you know, like I was talking to my agent, like that's probably the best thing that happened because now I'm able to to help the team whenever they put me in the lineup. I don't have to do like extra stuff to make myself you know get ready for the game because I have consistent at bat down there in AAA, and just trusting what I work in the off season, and everything's paying off.
The other best thing that happened to you seems like you went to Miami to work with this hitting coach. And I don't know if people realize 7 years in the majors, right? This is your seventh season, right? And you're a veteran. I mean, when I talk to you, you're very mature about the game. You understand the game. You had the opportunity to either play in the minors after COVID or go work with this hitting coach. You bet on yourself. What was behind that? How come you made that decision?
Uh, it was a lot of things going on. I wasn't right. My swing wasn't right. Mentally, I wasn't right because we as a baseball player and as a human, we wanna do good out there. But that doesn't as it don't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter there. That's 100% that you're gonna see results out there. So it was kind of probably the first time that I felt frustrated in my career. After the Tigers let me go. After a couple of weeks of conversation with my agent, we decided not to go because, I could have gone easily to any organization in AAA and, just wait for the opportunity to if they needed a left-handed bat. But, at that point, I wasn't, it wasn't helpful for me to go out there and just keep doing the same thing because I was honest, my swing wasn't right. And mentally-wise, I wasn't in a, right moment of my career. And yeah, I took that time. I mean, I didn't take time off. I just from playing. Yeah, I went to Miami and worked my butt off with this guy. No, I didn't post any. I rarely post stuff on my Instagram. So yeah, so I went down and worked with him for 2 months. I gave it a try, and when he felt that I was ready to see some like live arm and pitching, I went down to Dominican to Winter Bowl and played about like 30, 40 games, and I felt pretty good. I saw results right away. My swim felt great. I was consistent every day, and I was happy. I was happy that my swing was right. I was the old Nomar but better. So yeah, sometimes things happen for a reason, and I took it the right way. So, happy that I'm here now.
I love that you said the old Nomar but better because it seems like you reached like you kind of unlocked a new level. To go work with this guy in Miami and get your swing like that, it's paid off, right? Like, I mean, you've told me you feel the most consistent that you've ever been, right? Do you feel like it was kind of like a reinvention or a transformation a little bit, or?
Uh, he didn't change my swing. He just put some things in couple drills that made my swing click. Like with every pitch, you know how difficult. I mean, you've seen out there how difficult it is. Now everybody throws 100.
Yeah.
So I have long arms. So I was around the ball the past 2 years. So now I'm more inside out,
Yeah.
and it's giving me a better chance to barrel more balls. And I mean, but that doesn't guarantee that I'm gonna get a hit every time, but the more barrels that you put in there is, there's more opportunity to get on base. So that's the thing, like just going out there and just try to trust my path, my new path, and just trust it. Just go out there, don't do anything crazy, and sometimes the things you probably can barrel four good at bats, but didn't get a hit. But at the end of the day, I go back and see videos. If I'm swinging at good pitches, that's all that matters.
It's really fascinating with you because 4 years with the Rangers, you made your debut when you were 20 years old, and they were good years. You were hitting really well, I mean, for the most part. When did things kind of change for you?
It was good. The first 4 years in the Rangers, yeah, I had pretty good years, but everything went sideways when the pandemic hit, when I was with the White Sox. Everything shut down. Then I came back for a second spring training in Chicago, and before the season started, 2 days before the season started, I got sick, and they were really really strict about that in that season, and they made me quarantine for like 2 weeks and a half without grabbing a bat, anything. I was just sitting in my house, watching the games, going crazy, because yeah, it was tough.
And that was the first time you had really gone through adversity in your career, it sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. That was the year that everything went sideways. And when I cleared all that, I went down to the alternate side and practiced for like 3 days, lying to myself that I was ready, just because it was such a short season, and I wanted to show them what I have, what I'm capable of. And now, like, I took 2.5 weeks, three, without grabbing a bat, and then I went into 3 days of practice and told them that I was ready, but no, I was not. And just trying to survive out there every day, because I was playing every day. But since my first swings of practice in the cage, I knew I was in the right spot. I was working really really hard every day. I was the first guy with Jose Abreu's hitting machine every day, but I was kind of like, hey, I don't feel right, man. I was 100 swings every day, and nothing clicked. I didn't play good there. They don't like me there no more, which I understand. But I did good in the playoffs. I help in whatever I can, but tough season. Put that in the past. Then I went down to the next year. I went with the Tigers. I started okay. Then I got hurt, and when I came back, same thing. Like my swing wasn't there, and after that, I was like, okay, I gotta fix this. Like I gotta do something about it.
It takes a lot to be able to do that and to kind of look at yourself and go, okay, this, like you said, this isn't right, and I'm going to do something about it. All right, you signed out of the Dominican 2011. You're 16 years old. At the time, the largest signing bonus coming out of the Dominican. It was big, right? How did that change your life? I mean, what was that like as a 16-year-old for that to happen? And was that your dream the whole time?
Yeah, it was my dream to play, to become a pro athlete. People don't believe me, but I didn't. At that time, I was 16. I didn't care about them. I was happy that I got that kind of money, but I was like, I just want to make it. I just want to make it. I was a minor at the time, like, so I wasn't able to see that kind of money. So my parents were like, thank God I have good parents, and they were the one in charge of that. So I just went down whenever I needed something. I just talked to them, but it wasn't like I didn't put that in my head. I just went down and worked, and I made it at such a young age to the big league. Thank God.
I mean, 20 years old, you make your debut. What do you remember about that moment? I mean, did you feel ready for it? Was it crazy?
Everything. I was obviously I was in Iowa. I played 3 games in AAA that year. I was in Iowa. It was Jeff Bannister. He's here with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was the manager. I rake in spring training, and they didn't want to send me down. But I had Shinzo Shu making $20 million a year in right field, so I understood. Like they told me, like, hey, you have a guy making $20 million in front of you. Like I have coaches fighting for you, but there's nothing we can do about it. I was like, okay. I went down to AAA. I forgot about the big leagues. I thought I was gonna be there the whole year. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just focus on my thing here and just make it happen. And I went off in 3 days. And unfortunately, Shinzo Shu got hurt. that's a crazy part of the sport, the baseball. That's how opportunities open up. But you know, uh, my third game, I think I hit a homer and a double that game in Iowa, and then they pulled me out of the game. Like, hey, you are the big leagues. And yeah, it was in Anaheim, April 10th, in 2016, and I went 3 for 4 that day, and the rest I'm here now, 7 years.
How rad is that? I mean, you're 20 years old. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I don't even know what I was doing, but it definitely wasn't anything as cool as that. Did your parents see it? Were they able to make it out and come?
They didn't make it to Anaheim, but when went back to Texas, they were there.
Hey, when you were in the Dominican, was it AJ Preller that scouted you at the time?
Yeah, him and Mike Daly, yeah.
Yes. There's so many players that have come back from the Rangers. Why do you think so many players come back and are good with playing with him again or being under his organization? Like, did you have a relationship with him?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he saw me since I was 14 years old.
He knew what you could do.
Yeah, so, he believed in me, and he talked to my end this offseason before, the lockdown happened. And it was like, yeah, when they trade our follower here, we have the same agent.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, tell Nomar, let's go. He signed a minor league. I signed a minor league there because, I didn't have a really good year last year. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Like, I'm going to earn my spot. And because, he signed me, he knows what I'm capable of. And he knew if I would have clicked what I was working on, I would have, at some point I was going to help the team and whatever, whenever they give me the opportunity. And yeah, when you have guys like that they believe in you, they still believe in you, and they know why how hard you work. It means a lot for me for him to give me the opportunity again.
Okay, but you're 16 and you leave the Dominican, right? Is that your first time that you're away from home?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when I signed 2011, I didn't play that year because I wasn't able to play. It wasn't legal to play that year. I had to play the next year. So I went to instructionally, and that was like my first time leaving my parents for like. I think I was in Arizona for like a month or two, and
New language, new food, new everything.
crazy.
How hard was that? I mean, what was the hardest part? Do you remember?
Everything. Yeah, the culture, everything, food, everything. Cause I mean, I was picky back in the days. Like I didn't eat like I eat now. I eat anything now, but back in the 6 years old, I was picky. So but it's experience that everybody have to go through. It's not easy for sure, but you can't put your head down and you just gotta keep going forward.
How often do you see your parents or go back to the Dominican?
They don't like to come here, unfortunately, but I go for Christmas. I try to go there every Christmas to spend time with them. And actually, last year I spent a little bit more time because I went down and played winter ball a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Do they watch your games?
yeah, every game. Yeah, they're on top of my head every game. And if I don't do good, my dad is always like, "Hey, what's going on? What's wrong?" Thank God this year is a different case scenario.
He doesn't have to get on your case so much.
Nah.
He's just like, hey, good job,
Yeah.
I want to get into him in a second, but also, I mean, like baseball in Dominican is so big, right?
Yeah.
Was that just growing up, like it was just inevitable you were going to play, and did you have anyone you looked up to at the time?
I started playing basketball first, which is crazy, and I was really, really good.
Did you want to do that for your career?
I didn't want to do that for my career, but I enjoyed that more. Like I started playing back when I was 4, and throughout like 14, because I was like in one of the best teams out there.
Really?
And my dad made me quit because I guess somebody told him that how good I was at baseball too, and that was our only chance to get out of the States and become a pro. Because at basketball you have to go through like a different process. You have to like see a scout go see you there, then go to high school, college, and then go to the draft and stuff like that. In baseball, you get drafted, you get signed right away. So it was easier, and he found this guy, Ivan Novoa, that he has academy. He's like super famous about signing kids, and we gave it a try. And I was 14 years old, and he saw me. I was super skinny, and he was like, "Yeah, I would like to work with him," and thank God I put the work in, and I was able to sign with Texas for that kind of money to help my family.
And And your dad is a retired general in the Navy? Is that,
Yeah.
so how did that shape you? Like, was he very strict? Did that shape your childhood?
The strict one was my mom.
Really?
He was strict, but he was quiet. He's quiet like me, so he was always working too. So it was like my mom was at the house all the time, so she was a strict one.
All right, the big chill. Now, I tried to find, I mean, is it because you're so calm, or what? Why do they call you that?
It was in Double A. This reporter in Double A, he goes there. He's a scout. He goes there and watch all the young guys from the Rangers organization, and he saw that was a 6'5" kid, always quiet, and he liked the way I play. And he just came up with that nickname.
And it stuck. It's cool.
Yeah.
What motivates you?
I'm the one first of all to motivate myself every day, because if we don't motivate ourselves before, nobody's gonna do it. So we gotta have that in ourselves. So just to be able to be here every day and just live it up and see, because this is what we dream of. Like not everybody have the opportunity that we have. Obviously, it was a lot of hard work to be here, but it's a tough process. Not everybody make it, and just see my family happy, and I'm able to provide whatever they need. That makes me happy.
Nomar, it's great to have you here. Really appreciate it. Wise beyond your years. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.